All right. Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Loan Officer Breakfast Club. We're so glad to have you here. Oh, we're going to have a great day, man. We're going to interview and talk to Marty Guy Fink. It's going to be fun. Hopefully she's here. I didn't see her in the waiting room. If you're here, raise your hand, Marty. Just want to make sure you're here. And but before we get started, as always, we'll chat about some stuff and kind of get the juices flowing as we do and all that kind of fun stuff. So anyways, yeah, let us know that you're here, where you're at, how things are going in the chat. That'd be great. If you're a first timer, if you've never been here before, just say, hey, first timer. We just want to say good morning to you. That'd be super cool as well. We do have Gen Z, who does look like she's, in a room somewhere, but she's not. She's in a car. She's driving. Yep, she's a passenger in a vehicle right now, heading somewhere.
Oh, you know what that means? That means I'm going to be in charge of muting people if they accidentally get unmuted. So anything goes today.
So Five Thumbs Simpson is going to be running the mute button. So anything could happen. Beware. Beware. So, all right. Well, as people are starting to pile on in, would love to hear how yesterday went for people. How did it go? Yesterday, of course, was Tuesday. John Barker's already got his hand up. John, go ahead. Give us something, man. How was yesterday, buddy?
I've got a great stalking story for you.
Stalking story? This is great. Here, hold on. I got to do this. Okay, stalking story. Let's go.
All right, so realtor I've called a couple times. I know her in the past. We kind of crossed paths. She didn't answer the last 2 weeks, and I see on her Facebook page she's somewhere tropical for spring break with her kids. So yesterday, a friend of mine who's in Punta Cana texted me a picture holding a drink, like, haha, I'm in Punta Cana. In the background is this realtor.
No.
Hey.
So I asked my friend Kelly, I said, hey, Kelly, I need you to turn around. See that woman? I need you to turn around, tell her you're my assistant, and I'm trying to get in touch with her. So my friend does this. And I get a text from this realtor. She goes, what the hell? I've never been stalked out. I've never been LO stalked outside the country before. So we're gonna get together when she gets back.
That's a pretty epic story, John.
I've been telling it all day yesterday. I'm dying. It's the funniest thing I've ever done.
That's like a karma thing. It's like, how weird is that for that to line up that way? That is really bizarre. Yeah,
exactly. I must be doing something right.
And kudos to your buddy who was bold enough to make the statement.
Oh, it's this woman I've known since college. She's absolutely nuts, so I knew she would do it.
Dude, that's a great story. So you got the appointment. So you're going to get together when she gets back.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what she said. She said, I'll be back Sunday or Saturday night. We'll talk Sunday and set something up.
Oh, man. That is awesome. I'll give you a victory fanfare for that one, dude. That was great. That was an epic share first thing in the morning. Oh, man. That was good. All right. Thanks, John. Hey, how about anybody else before we get rolling? Let's get some, how was yesterday? Somebody give me some good news from yesterday, man. Make your calls. People make calls, right? I did. You know how many I made? I made 89 calls. The 2 hours was up and I had another appointment. So I just, I didn't make it.
And you know why you made all those calls? You know why you made all those calls?
Why, Carl?
Because you wanted to make more money.
That's exactly right.
Because you wanted to make more money. Now, see, we could say because you wanted to help more families and, it's good for the community. And it does. And you did. But you wanted to make more money.
That's it, brother. Yeah. That's it.
Because we're all trying to make as much money as Miss Marty Fink did. I want to be Marty Fink when I grow up. Yeah.
Yeah. Through those calls, I think it was 89. I've got the notes right there, but I don't want to reach over there. But like 26 talk tos, something like that. And then, and then out of that, I had like, I want to say 17 of those people were like, absolutely, let's get together, let's stay in touch. So that was nice. And I picked up 3 leads. And but the 3 leads I picked up were like, kind of, they weren't like, let's go alone now. It was more like, let's talk about it, let's look at this situation kind of a thing. And Carl, what I was thinking, this is a good thing you brought this up, because I was thinking to myself at the end of that, I was like, oh man, I wish I would have got more of a hotter lead, But then I remembered, I'm just following the process. You know what I mean? I'm just doing the process, and I just cannot stop doing the process. Because you stack some 89 call days together. You stack 30 of those together. I don't know. I think I might get a deal or two. What do you think?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think what was it on the Call Stars Blitz, which we got another one coming up. But on the Call Stars Blitz, the average person that turned in the report, I think it was what was it, Kristen? Was it 5.4 referrals?
Yeah.
Something like that. I think that was it, like 5.4 referrals. So man, that's in one day. So it's just the stacking on. Who was it? Where was that at? We were on a class or something. I can't remember where that was. But somebody said, "Hey, they got a loan, and then they got the listing agent, and then the listing agent got somebody else, and then somebody else got somebody else, and they got like 4 referrals all from one deal."
Yeah.
So, just crazy.
That's how these things go, man. That's how these things go. So how about just one more win? Somebody give me a win from yesterday. Come on. And I'm perfectly happy to sit in awkward silence.
All right,
Frank,
wait.
it's Connor.
So I know somebody's going to share a win. Connor, I want to hear you win, but I just got to tell you, a couple
Yeah.
of people who are first timers today, I've asked them where they heard about the Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
And one person said their manager shared it with the team, and the other person said a fellow coworker. So I just want to say thank you guys for sharing it. We love that.
Yeah, thank you so much. We give big cheers. And welcome to our first timers. Glad to have you here. All right, so who had the win? Connor.
Hey, Frank. So in a similar vein to yourself, the win yesterday was using phone burner or, a dialer. My goal was 100 dials for the day. I got to 103.
Wow.
Talked to 22 people and got 2 leads. So, and then the same thought as yourself. If I stacked all these days together,
Think about it.
life would be good. So there you go.
It will be. Yeah. Dude, excellent. Congratulations, brother. Great job. Excellent work. Super duper. Excellent. Okay, one more. Melissa, what you got? Melissa. My finger's on the trigger.
Don't do
Sorry,
it.
I gotcha.
Don't do it.
Okay.
Sorry, if my phone froze, sorry. So I had a couple wins yesterday, actually. I did another walk and talk with an agent. And so I've been editing that and getting ready to post another video.
Cool.
And then I had my first podcast with Chris Johnstone yesterday at 4 o'clock.
What?
I've been trying to get on that show for years.
It's not easy. It's not easy. Yeah.
And then I had a friend reach out and ask if I would be willing to be their lender. They were going to look at a property yesterday that was listed at $1.1 million.
Did you ask them to forward their resume to you just to give them a quick look over, make sure?
Well, they literally just decided yesterday. They were just going to look at properties yesterday for the first time. They want to do it sometime this year. So they're just very early in the process, but I'm super excited.
They called you. They asked if would you like to help us with this?
I said, it would be my honor.
Congratulations, Melissa. What a great day yesterday. Fantastic stuff. Oh, thanks for the shares, everybody. Well, Marty, are you with us?
I am.
Okay, well, don't say anything. Don't say anything yet, because I got to know which of these damn buttons to push. I think it's this one.
Now it's time for our Mortgage Marketing Animal and Freedom Club members spotlight.
Please welcome Marty Guy Fink. How are you?
I'm great. How are you, Frank?
I'm good too.
I have to say, I'm so proud of Melissa. Melissa and I work on the same team. I'm so proud of her. She is just like way stepping out of her shell, and I just love to see that. Love it.
I am going to spotlight you just temporarily here because I just want people to see you. The fabulous, the wonderful Marty Guy Fink, everybody. So I just want to give you big cheers.
I did my hair for y'all.
Looks absolutely stunning.
My hair.
You look amazing. Thank you so much. So, Marty, let's get started here. So I got the word either from Carl or Steve, and the word is, hey man, like a year ago, Marty was like at a goose egg 0 for the month of February.
But she wasn't a 0. She was not a 0. She just had 0 loans for that month.
That's what okay. Exactly. Thank you, Carl. That's what I meant. So had a 0 pipeline. And then fast forward to last month, and what were your number one? Was it units or production or both in your company?
Both.
Number one in,
yes.
Come on, everybody. Let's give it,
Yeah.
come on, let's give it up. Number one in the company in units and volume. I mean, that's pretty cool. And I heard through the grapevine, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it wasn't you, but like you weren't even aware that was happening. You were just like, what? It's me? Or was that
I
you?
work with some wonderful loan officers that just, they have worked very hard to develop their business. And I was in shock. My face, I sent it to Krista, and you could see the look on my face when I took the picture because I'm like stunned. But yeah, that was the first time ever in my life anywhere in my loan officer career. And before I start all this, I just want to say thank you for having me on here. This is a big deal, and I am very proud of myself. And it is not. I earned it, but I could not have done it with you guys. So, thanks so much for having me here. Thanks so much for showing me how to get here. That is the biggest thing. When I started this, my company, they were like, hey, we're going to send you this retreat, and it's a loan officer boot camp thing. And I saw Frank Gray on there and Carl White, and I was like, I gotta go. So they went through this application process, and then that was October, I'm going to say 3rd and 4th, no, October 5th and 6th of 2023. And I went and I met Frank for the first time in my life. And yes, Frank, I fangirled a little bit. I did, because back when I was just in little loan officer setup, I set up loans and did some processing. I would get up every single day and watch you and Brian Stevens, and while I was working, because I had my own little cubicle. And so what was funny to me is that, like, I used to think you were like mortgage. I still think you are mortgage royalty, but you and I the other day, just shooting the shit over the phone. Sorry, excuse my language, everybody. About mortgages and you starting your company. I was like, wow, look how things just like come full circle. Like, I never would have believed that back in the day. I believe it now, and I have huge plans. I don't have goals. I have plans that I'm going to execute. So I think that is one thing that's made the difference for me too. But I have a lot of support at my company, and I also have the support here that is well worth it. But when I started, I did not execute. So you guys are wondering, why did it take you a year? What took you a year? Why did it take you a year? You know why? Because I joined MMA October 9th of 2023. Did I do what I was supposed to do October 9th? No, I did not. I was scared to death. I did not execute. I would get on Loan Officer Breakfast Club still, but I would not get on Call Stars. I was scared to death. Then let's fast forward to January and February. I mean, I had goose eggs last year. I was getting in my head. I had goose eggs. I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know how I was going to pay bills. It was one of those situations. And so I realized that I had to change. Fast forward, luckily, I made it through the spring market. I came out okay. Did I close a whole bunch of loans? No, I didn't close a lot. I did enough to just get by. Then let's fast forward to June, and Steve Kyles does a boot camp for the people in my company. And I just said, you know what, this is it. I've got to do this. So I started executing. I started tracking. I started getting on Call Stars, because that was part of it. You have to get on Call Stars. I said, I'm getting on Call Stars no matter what. And this is what I tell people now that are just starting, and they're like, I don't want to get on Call Stars. I don't have anybody to call. I'm like, you do have somebody to call, but get on Call Stars anyway. Even if you make 1 or 2 phone calls, get on there anyway. And this is, of course, for MMA members. Get on there anyway. Get used to being on camera, because guess what? After that 2 hours goes by, nobody is looking at you. They don't care what you're doing. I mean, I'm pretty sure I've done some strange things on there. I might have even picked my nose or anything like that. Who knows? Who
Just
knows?
twice.
But just get on there and do it. Even if it's making 1 or 2 calls, even if you're making 80 calls, I just believe in that. And if you are an MMA member, there are scripts, and every day is a different theme, and they're designed conversations that are designed to move the needle for you. So the next big thing after the Steve Kyle's boot camp was the boot camp that was in July of last year. This was the big needle turner. That when I came home from that, I had finally developed my why. And I came home and I looked at my husband and I sat down with him at the table and I said, I need some of your time. Sat down at the table with him. I'm like, this is what my schedule is going to look like. This is what I need from you. This is what's going to change. And this is how we're going to work it. And are you okay with that? Because this is the kind of money that I can be making. And he was like, yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm good. Because we were going into a situation where we were going to be one person because we wanted him to be able to retire. So that was a big deal. And then sure enough, that Monday morning after the boot camp, we started off strong, and we rolled out, and we started doing, we started getting into a routine. I got into a routine. I was on Call Stars on the regular. I mean, I don't think I've missed very many Call Stars unless I'm like at a retreat or at a boot camp or anything like that. So I just, I really think that for me, it was getting the support that I needed, getting my mind straight, getting out of my head, getting through some call reluctance. I did take a Kevin Gillespie boot camp as well. And that one was really helpful to get me out of my head, to make it so I could get out in front of people, get out and talk to people a little bit more, make some really hard phone calls. And I actually look at it now as I actually look at the calls as, it's kind of fun to look at my numbers and my conversion I'm not a math person, believe it or not, even though I am a loan officer. Math just it kills me. But to see the results, I think is like the biggest aha moment too. I have so many aha moments in 2024. It amazes me. And it amazes me too, where there's a lot of people that are out there saying that 2024 was their worst year. I can honestly say that 2024 was my best year in the industry. It was my best year in the industry. And I can't just contribute it just to one thing. But a lot of it has to do with just being around this community, being around MMA, being around a company that supports me. I have a great team underneath of me. I have people that support me outside of Frank and Carl and Steve and Chris and Kristen and Jen and Meg and Krista. I have people in MMA that support me outside of that. And there's so many of you in here that have texted me this morning. Joanne, Sarah, you guys always every single day are like making me want to move forward and move and push harder so we can all meet our goals and what we're going to do.
Hey, Marty, what was the thing, like, what was the hardest obstacle to overcome?
Actually living a schedule and being reactive. During the Steve Kyle's boot camp, you get and then,
hang on a second. All right. Hey, Jen, do me a favor. Every time she mentions Steve Kyle's, just dub in Carl White on the recording. So I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. So
well,
go
it's
ahead.
not. There's no such thing as that now, but now it is the Alliance. So a part of the Alliance too. But during that boot camp that he did for us, he had us do a deep dive into our time blocking and our calendar. And he told us he has you make a real life, I guess it's a living calendar is what he calls it.
Yeah.
And so the living calendar is basically everything that you do in a day. Even if you get up in the morning and you meditate, you have to put that on your calendar. And I think that was one of the biggest obstacles I had to overcome, and when my first boot camp in Clearwater, I feel like, I'm going to say it again, Carl, I'm sorry. I feel like Steve Kyle's beelined it over to me, and he's just, he's just great. He beelined it over to me and said to me, he's like, what are you looking to learn and get out of this? And my biggest thing was, I said, I want to eliminate the chaos in my daily routine, in my daily activity. Did it happen right away? No, it took me a good 7-8 months to finally figure it out and make the plunge and do what I'm supposed to do, which is very, very hard to live by a calendar when you have everything else coming at you on a daily basis. And not only am I a loan officer, I'm a branch manager as well. So I have other loan officers on my team that work with me. They do not work for me. Just let's make that clear. Let's make that clear. They are the CEOs of Me Inc. themselves. So
You bet.
But that was a game changer for me.
So Marty, what I'm hearing you really say, we always try to make this sexy in some way or fashion, and but what I'm hearing you say is, and we've said this 1,000 times, there's no such thing as a magic bean.
No, sir.
And it's just structure and discipline.
Discipline.
Mm-hmm.
Discipline trumps motivation is the most truest statement I think I could ever have in my life. If you, and do I execute perfectly? No, I do not.
Yeah.
I do not. Probably why it took me a year to get to where I am now, where I'm comfortable with it, where there is no ifs, ands, or buts of me being on Call Stars. And I also had a huge milestone yesterday. In this whole year, I have not used a power dialer, and yesterday was my first day to actually push the button and use the power dialer. First, I'm a believer in it now. I'm a believer, and I have my own power dialer. One day I will grow up and get into the Chris Johnstone AI one. But I want to say 7 calls in, I actually have an application going in. 7 calls in, not 100, not 30. It was 7 calls in. It was a past client, and her mother and they bought a house together. Now the mom wants to buy her own house. So I was able to actually call the realtor who referred her to me, and her name is Taisha and her mom is Valerie. I was able to refer her back to the realtor that I worked with. I worked with her for 8 years, and she was like, wow, this is amazing. So just, can you guys imagine being able to refer a client back to a realtor? I mean, how amazing is that? And I didn't have to pay. Yeah, I didn't pay for a lead. I didn't pay for it. It was just me using the tools that I already have that are free sitting here for me with my own database.
Hey Marty, I need you to take your humble hat off here just for a second. So how does it feel like from going, and I'm just going to surmise a general situation, not necessarily yours. How does it feel going from I got no paycheck last month, and maybe not one the month before, maybe a small one the month before, to now getting the income, which we don't get into specific income here, but getting into the income of the top producer for the month over for the entire organization, and the fears of that I know went through my mind in the past. The bills are this, and should I tap out and go do something else and go get a regular job, that'll get us by. How does it feel to go to turn that corner so that the finances is no longer like that bear that's chasing you every day?
Well, honestly, it feels good. I spent so many years in survival mode before I was married to my husband. I was a single mother of 2 fantastic boys who are 18 months apart, and they're also like over 6 foot tall. So I lived in survival mode a lot of times too. So because you have to feed them kids. Those kids are not the boys eat a lot of food. So
I was gonna say I hear those 6 foot boys can put down some chow.
they can 6'7" and 6'6" to be
Goodness.
quite honest.
Wow.
It's a lot of cheeseburgers.
And I was this let me tell you, a lot of food, but it feels good now to not worry about things. They and luckily they're grown, they're adults now. And actually my 25-year-old is closing on a house next Wednesday. I'm so proud of them. So both of my children will be homeowners. I'm so proud of them in their early 20s. But
so I've heard you say structure, I've heard you say discipline, and I've heard you say call star. So just as we kind of wrap this up, any other and I'm not looking for an advertisement here, and I know you're so gracious, but just like an actual implementation, anything other than structure, discipline, and call stars, any other one activity, or is that's what's done it?
Well, making the phone calls, did I say, was that part of it? I really leaning into my Tuesday calls. And if nobody knows what Tuesday calls is, that means call everybody and update them on the transaction. That has moved the needle with gaining new referral partners because I call the listing agent, and I swear if you get 6 or 7 loans going and you don't call that listing agent, you are missing out. You are totally missing out, because I want to say even 2 loans that I got in this that are in for April that are going to be closing are from new listing agents. I mean, from new referral partners that were on the listing side. And if you neglect Tuesday, it's not very smart. It's not very smart. So, but thank you though. I appreciate you guys. And I forgot to shout out to Sharon and Tanya Brown too. So, but if you guys aren't in MMA, just do it. I am going to do a plug for you guys. Totally. Even whether I've been in regular MMA and Alliance, and it doesn't matter. They are going to treat you the same way. I feel like I'm treated the same way I was when I was a MMA member, but that growth to that spot, for me, I just want to keep on growing and keep on moving to the next level. Before, this would have never been in my mind at all. And actually having a plan, we even worked on I even have revamped my 2025 business plan. I revamped it again. It keeps growing and it keeps flourishing, which flourish is my word for the year. But it just keeps expanding and it keeps growing. And I'm very super proud of myself and the things that I have done. I have a long way to go, but I'm not gonna live in the old days and the bad stuff. I like looking back and seeing where I was.
And Marty, what's the name of the podcast that you do again?
Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about that.
just get what's the name of it real quick?
It's called Riding in Cars with Real Estate.
All right. So hey everybody. A way of showing Marty thanks is Riding in Cars with Real Estate. Go listen to an episode and leave her a review. So the reviews are a really, really, really big deal for podcast. And so go listen to an episode and leave a review. It's just a cool way to give back. So Marty, thanks so much for what you do. So and what was the name of that podcast again?
It's called Riding in Cars with Real Estate. And if you look me up on Facebook too, it's there as well, but it's on YouTube. All you got to do is Google it. And I have new episodes that are coming out. I got 3 that are backed up and ready to be posted. I kind of be strategic on posting because I don't do them as much as you do, but I have a plan to actually start posting more and getting them out a lot quicker too.
So go listen to the episode and just give her an honest review, as long as it's nice. As long as it's nice, right? So leave an honest review as long as it's 5 stars. As long as it's 5 stars. So
thank you.
Hey, and just real quick, Frank. So today, the complete loan officer class, led by yours truly, is just for our members. Is today at 2:00. We're going to be talking. I'm going to be on there, and I'm going to be showing you winning the top 10 mortgage niches. And what we're going to do is we're going to walk through the 10 most profitable borrower types, which is why people actually borrow money, what message speaks to them, how do you position yourself to attract them like a magnet, And we're going to be talking about how to brand yourself to dominate each of these niches, the exact phrases and marketing messages. So it's a really cool class. And then I started mapping out a series that's coming up next, where we're going to be talking about, we're going to go in depth into some of these niches in the oncoming weeks. Like how do you capture more of the first time home buyers, move up purchases, investment properties, vacation homes, how to brand yourself, the things to overcome. And so it's a series that I'm going to be doing. So I'm really looking forward to it. If somebody wants to be a part of that, Frank, where do they go?
Well, I would just say this. You can always just go to loanofficersuccess.com to fill a little form, and we'll get to you. But I would also say, if after everything, and Marty, you're back. Thank you so much, Marty. You were just so wonderful. It was literally the easiest interview ever. Because we just got to listen to your amazing story, which was way better than asking any questions. It was just incredible.
Into her eyes. I just gaze into her eyes.
I know. So I would just say,
you guys have no idea what I never would have thought in a million years I'd be on here doing this, speaking to almost 400 plus people. And I thought I might pass out. But I did not pass out, thank goodness. I had a lot of friends and my family. They were like, you got this. You know how to talk. You talk a lot as it is. But can everybody do me a favor? Can you guys wave? And so I can take a picture? Thank you. All right, thank you. Sorry.
Awesome.
It's all good. I was just going to thank you, Marty. And I was just going to say, hey, everybody, loanofficersuccess.com. Of course, you can go there. Or if you're just been on the fence, you haven't talked to anybody at the office just to really learn more about what goes on here behind the scenes, you could just put in ready in the chat. Just say ready.
I like that.
And somebody will just reach out to you and just walk you through what we've got going on here.
Even better.
Success like Marty, and the others, so just put ready.
I tell you, you're going to want to be a part of this upcoming series. I'm just, I don't mean to be braggadocious, but it's a killer series that we're getting ready to start. Today is just going to be the outline of the first part of it, and then we're going to go do a deep dive into these different mortgage niches. It's really good stuff, and I'll be giving you handouts to hand out and flyers and books, pre-written books that you can stick your name on. So it's going to be a really in-depth thing. Hey, and Marty, don't feel so bad. One time, Frank and I passed out on we literally passed out on stage, but that was years ago and a whole nother story. So
I'll have to listen to that to another time too. So.
Yeah.
And I hope to see you guys. I'll see you guys in May. So
there you go. Awesome stuff. And yes, the series is definitely part of MMA for people that are asking.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So, you get everything. It's going to be really good stuff.
Good stuff. All right. You guys have a great day. You guys take it easy. Thanks so much for joining us on Loan Officer Breakfast Club. Marty Guy Fink, thank you so much. Chris Johnstone tomorrow. It's going to be a great day. You guys, thanks for joining us. We'll see you here again soon at the Loan Officer Breakfast Club. Adios. Bye-bye.